to you by
Hello and good evening to you. Welcome to the Business News here on News 360. My name is Alfredo Consi. Let's go on to our first story this evening. And Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Asiedu-Dartey, is saying that the time for banks to inject some money into, that's more capital into the industry is now to enable them become more viable and also competitive. The central bank boss made the statement in Accra during the Governor's Day ball organized by the Chartered Institute of Bankers, Ghana.
Dr. Abdul Nashiru Isahaku says for the banks to be able to compete, investments and innovation are crucial.
There is the need for additional capital injection. Consequently, a technical committee has been set up within the Bank of Ghana to review and recommend an appropriate level of minimum regulatory capital for banks in Ghana.
The central bank governor anticipated the banking industry will rebound from the energy-related challenges. To stabilize the banking industry, the Bank of Ghana boss stated the necessary reforms needed to be pursued.
The total industry exposure to VRA and TOR has gone through a restructuring agreement. Upfront payments have been made to the lender banks, while the remaining exposures are to be restructured and the various terms including extension of the maturity structure, reduction in interest rate, and a rebate of the gross indebtedness.
He hinted of some policies that will be implemented to strengthen the banking and financial industry.
In our efforts to safeguard the stability of the industry, the Bank of Ghana, together with the relevant institutions, is forging ahead with some reforms in the deposit protection laws. Specialized Deposit Taking Bill 2015 has been passed into law by Parliament, awaiting presidential assent. The initial capital and other logistics for the yet-to-be-established Deposit Protection Corporation will be provided by the Bank of Ghana and government.
The president of the Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, Clifford Duke Metal, says effective implementation of policies have been a challenge.
Some of the laws and rules and guidelines that he also put up are excellent. But once the issue would be how to implement these policies, how to implement these rules.
Some individuals were awarded fellowships for contributing to the banking industry. Head of Corporate Communications, Ghana and Anglophone West Africa, Reverend Patricia Sapo, will take over as president of the Chartered Institute of Bankers in January next year.
The marketing and supply chain manager of Petrosol, Kwesi Ziga, has assured drivers of constant supply of petrol, diesel and kerosene, even in periods of fuel shortage in the country. He was speaking at the commissioning of a new filling station at Teshing here in Accra.
The Petroleum Solutions Petrosol is a licensed oil marketing company, OMC, oil marketing company dealing in products such as gasoline, diesel, kerosene and liquefied petroleum gas. The company was licensed by the National Petroleum Authority to operate as an oil marketing company in November 2013 and began lifting petroleum products in February 2014. Speaking at the commissioning of the new filling station at Teshi in Accra, the marketing and supply chain manager of Petrosol, Kwesi Ziga, assured drivers of constant supply of petroleum products. He said the station will supply quality fuel to consumers.
It is in our interest to seek the welfare of the consumer. We believe that if the consumer interest is protected, if the consumer is getting value for money, then we are in business. The industry is in business. The consumer confidence in our industry will soar, and that will inure to the benefit of all the players.
Kwesi Ziga maintained Petrosol will continue to provide value for money.
They are worried that they are not getting the right quantity of fuel that they purchase. In other words, they feel that they are getting shortchanged or they are getting cheated. So we take it upon ourselves, educate the Ghanaian consumer to seek what we call full quantity. If you purchase, let's say, 100 Ghana cedis worth of fuel, you expect to get quantity equivalent to that 100 Ghana cedi. So you can take it to mean if you buy 1 gallon, you get 1 gallon.
Currently, the company has 46 operating solutions in the country.
On to other stories, Finance Minister said Tekwe is leading government delegation to the International Monetary Fund, the World Bank meetings, which opens in Washington, D.C. from October 4th to 14th. Now, he's joined by the governor of the central bank, Asiedu-Dartey, and his second deputy governor, Johnson Esiama, as well as the chairman of the Parliament's Finance Committee, James Aveji. While in Washington, D.C., the team will hold series of meetings with the IMF Deputy Managing Director, Tai Zhang, also participate in the African Caucus meeting with the World Bank President Jim Yong Kim, as well as the African Caucus meeting with the IMF Managing Director Christine Lagarde. So that's what's going to be happening. But let's go on to the commodities market now and find out how the commodities have been faring over the period. And you see an ounce of gold now trading at the current price of 1,311 and also 52 cents there. So there's been a drop in the price of gold on the world market, 0.33%, as was expected, because for the past 3 days there's been a lot of bullion volatility on the world market with respect to the trading of gold. Now, if you look also like a ton of cocoa now trading at $2,793 as we speak at the moment. There's been a continuous and consistent appreciation of the price of a ton of cocoa, and what you can see, 1.16% for the past 3 days. Monitoring activity on the world market indicates that between 0.6 and 1.6% increases is what gold has and also cocoa has been facing. If you see cotton now trading at $68.52 there. Can I say the same for coffee also now? There's been a drop, a significant reduction in the price of cocoa on the world market, 2.64%, and that has been blamed on bad weather in some countries that produce coffee there. But you see crude oil now on the world market trading at $50.84 and a significant appreciation on 1.30%. Then you see oil prices have been going up, as indicated, 1% up today after comment by Iran's President Hassan Rouhani is exhorting the need for other oil producers to join OPEC to stabilize the market. We're keeping an eye on the aftermath of the OPEC meeting that decided to put a freeze on production. But that's it for the business.